By now you've probably seen the video where I crush a car with my Hummer. Or at least, I hope that's what happens. We're filming this before it actually happened to show you the rather interesting process of crushing a car from start to finish.
It can't just be, I bought this car and it doesn't move, and like, here are the thing. It's got to
okay, fine. So
it needs to be something worthy of the Hummer's crush.
These are my friends Mark and Perry, who flew all the way up from Atlanta just to help me crush a car with my new Hummer. Unfortunately, we already have some slight disagreements about exactly how it should happen.
I mean, I think we got to use the cheapest car possible.
I don't just want to have a cheap, like a Chevy Celebrity that you can find for $500. I want it to be something like a Prius would be absolutely perfect.
A Prius would be pretty funny.
Those aren't cheap though.
Those aren't.
There's the only $500 cars that are interesting in the slightest are old Volvos and old Mercedes.
Yeah, but people love those cars, dude. People would be so upset.
We can tell people, the car is in-op, the transmission doesn't work.
It doesn't matter. Some guy would be like, I have that exact car.
We need a car that would be both interesting to crush, interesting to drive around, and universally people would hate to have it, to own it, you know?
What do people hate the most? What car do people hate the most?
Aztec.
PT Cruiser. They hate PT Cruisers. Car people hate PT Cruisers. It's the worst car in the world.
So we knew we wanted a PT Cruiser, but now we had to find one. And that meant scouring the deep parts of Craigslist for used bargain basement price PT Cruisers. And then going to the parts of town you wouldn't normally visit unless you were following your Find My iPhone app. So today we're driving out to Camden to buy a PT Cruiser. We're going to cruise out there in a Range Rover to find a Craigslist PT Cruiser, and then we're going to lowball the person. The windows are worryingly down, even though it's snowing. Betty Boot steering wheel cover. Oh, and Betty Boot floor mat too. It's got a temp tag that expired yesterday. It's registered to a Pontiac G6. This isn't shady at all. It's like the old 4-cylinder. Who the car for? It's for our sister.
It works. Put it all the way up. It might need to be
Good deal?
Yep.
All right, man. So now we have the car, but how exactly do you crush it? So, we know we want to do a PT. The Dodge Omni will fill in as the PT. How do you go about crushing it? So
He's got two cars.
he's got two cars.
Well, what was that? That was that
ZX2.
ZX2, yeah.
See, that's what you might have to do, go up and down a few times.
Yeah, I might have to do that a couple
But
times.
look at the divot it made in the hood. I wonder if they pulled the engine.
look at the-
there
look
must
at
be
the
no
roof.
engine on that
Look
thing.
at the roof.
Yeah, you're right. There must be no engine. They put the cars on like a block in the back.
We could put the
We could put the concrete under the PT.
So he's probably worried he would shoot it out into traffic and kill someone.
I wonder how the roof will hold up in this Cavalier. It's all crappy 90s GM. Everybody in the videos crushes with two cars.
Yeah, you have to have two cars.
You gotta have two cars, because if you don't have two cars,
Yeah, it's gonna flip.
especially the PT because it's so hot.
Yeah.
After we buy the PT, we're going to have to buy a second car just for the purpose of running it over. I mean, it's getting insanely expensive.
Just find something there that you can leave when you're done.
Okay, so the question is,
Yeah, but where?
probably have to do it at a scrapyard. This car will be completely destroyed.
Is a scrapyard going to be cool with us just running over a car like the
More than anybody else.
More than anybody else. So we decided to crush the car at a scrapyard. Unfortunately, that meant going to even more questionable parts of town and talking to even more questionable people. PT Cruiser is going to be here, right? But if you run over just the PT, it'll roll. So we got to do the PT and a second car, and that way we run over both of them together like that. Does that make sense? Got it. So we got the PT and it runs, and we'll bring it here and it's a total piece of shit. We got to get the second car.
You still got that Saturn?
I got Saturn. I got one.
You get a Saturn? Perfect. And that's that. So what do you think? You think we got a shot? You think we can do it?
Tomorrow. You said tomorrow, right?
That's the plan. What time? 2 o'clock, okay? This is little Chris. He came highly recommended in the world of West Philadelphia auto salvage. He was also perennially late, he never kept his cell phone on, and he didn't have a physical address that we could discern. But he had a Saturn. Until...
So Chris told us that he would have a Saturn. But he was going to buy the Saturn on the way here. And the person turned his offer down. Yeah, and then he left.
Yeah, like where did he go to get that?
Little Chris did eventually buy the Saturn for $350, so we pooled the money of everybody here. And now we got to pay little Chris for the Saturn, and then we're going to roll over the Saturn with PT Cruiser. So we're letting the air out of the tires to make it a little lower.
As you know, the actual crush went precisely as planned. The Hummer climbed up both the PT Cruiser and the Saturn with no issues. And after we paid little Chris...
20, 21, 322, and 323. Nick, you got $20? That's fine. All right.
and had a little extra fun.
Once. All right, you're done.
We were done. And so was the PT Cruiser. So there you have it. The Hummer has been used to its full potential and the world is rid of a PT Cruiser. And that's just in the first week. I think we're gonna have a fun time with this truck.